This is Hino's Sport, bringing you that heat and that fire. Errol the True Spence done dispatched Mikey Garcia. He left this guy as a guy that's fighting nothing but what? Uber, Lyft, and hold up. Hey, taxi, Tijuana cab driver fighters. When you listen to Mikey Garcia, you listen to a guy that sounds like he has brain hemorrhage. He sounds like a guy that has CTE and concussive protocol. He sounds like a guy that's been beat up to a level to where he's been systematically broken down. Mikey Garcia is what we call a guy that's harboring bad feelings. You have to understand, if a guy beat me up so bad to where I'm in 26 days of hibernation, he beat me up so bad to where not only I went in 26 days of hibernation, I was pissing amber. I couldn't even bang my chick, dog. Let me say it again. I couldn't even bang my damn chick because I was pissing amber and I had concussive protocol. And I was laid up in a hospital somewhere because I was beat up, beat down, downtrodden. And then when I finally show up and I do an exclusive video 26 days later after leaving hibernation, I'm doing this. Slurring all over the place, convulsing and spitting. This is signs of CTE and concussive protocol. This is what a 12-round beatdown looked like. This is what 1,000 more punches of punishment look like. Errol the True Spence gave Mikey Garcia the equivalent of that slow punishment, dog. You know how when you punishing somebody from a standpoint of either you mentally whipping them or you watch when fighters are sitting there and they're beating a fighter up and the referee's not calling it, they just letting the fight happen. That's what Errol the True Spence was doing. He was systematically taking lifeline, taking years away from Mikey Garcia from his boxing life. This is why Mikey Garcia is hot and bothered like grits. It's because he's no longer the same fighter and no longer the same human being at the same time. Let me say it again, because that was so deep and profound. Hear me and hear me well. This one needs to marinate in the corpus callosum and in the cerebellum. Errol the True Spence beat Mikey Garcia up so bad that Mikey Garcia is no longer the same fighter and no longer the same human being. He got beat up. He got broken down. And then he got what we call a technical KO stoppage. Because here's the thing. People are like, but he didn't KO Mikey. He did. The KO is called life trauma. You see? You don't get it. What Mikey Garcia went through in the Errol the True Spence fight is the equivalent of 100 car crashes. Let me say it again. When Mikey Garcia went against Errol the True Spence in that fight was the equivalent of 100 car crashes. Errol the True Spence beat this boy down so bad to where now he's talking two sideways out of his mouth. When you see somebody's talking like that, that tells you that they're suffering what we call long-term brain damage. Mikey Garcia is showing this because Mikey Garcia is saying stuff that doesn't even make sense. He doesn't know what weight class he wants to land on. He doesn't know who he wants to fight. He no longer wants to fight elite fighters. This is all prevalent of the damage he took from Errol the True Spence. He's no longer the same fighter. Look at Snack. They don't even promote him no more. They don't even talk about him. You know they ain't going to talk about J-Rock too. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. Mikey Garcia got beat up. And what Errol the True Spence did was regressed him and revealed him as this. A guy that was fighting what? Uber, Lyft, and hold up. Hey, taxi, Tijuana cab driver fighters. This was his truest and his most properest levels. This is what also Canelo Alvarez is, a bigger Mikey Garcia that runs up and down weight classes to fight the weakest link. This is what Mikey Garcia did. This is why when Mikey Garcia said, I see something in Spence, because he supposedly beat up about BS and about BS's pupil, he thought these guys were Errol the True Spence, and he said, I see something in Spence. No, you saw ass whooping, and you saw it times 1,000 punches of punishment. Woo, woo. I just hit you with that Kenshiro fist of the North Star, dog. He got 1,000 punches of the fist of the North Star punishment. That's what he got. Wayanamo Sinterum. You know what Kenshiro says? Don't you already know? you already dead. That's what Earl the True Spence did to Mikey Garcia, though. You don't already know? You already dead. That's what happened. Earl the True Spence beat this boy down, man. He's no longer going to be the same fighter and no longer going to be the same human being. Watch Mikey Garcia. If I was a family member of his, I would put him on what I call mental watch. Because later on in his life, he's going to start suffering some issues that he shouldn't be suffering. You know why? Because Peter Garcia was too stubborn and too ignorant enough to do the Aztec warrior, La Raza, we're going to die for La Raza. Yeah, Mikey Garcia died a few times in that ring for La Raza because they should have stopped the fight in 9 rounds. So technically it was a TKO stoppage because Robert Garcia wanted to stop the fight. But they listened to a kid named Peter. When you name a kid after a pita bread, that should tell you something right there. They listened to him, and Derrick James was yelling. Peter kept saying, F you, La Raza, we're going to die for La Raza. And what happened? Mikey Garcia's not been the same. His stock dropped. He went and did CBD oils. This man is spending money, yet he's spending money smartly, right? That's a sign of brain hemorrhage and brain damage. Because when you're buying cars, which depreciate value, you're not buying homes, how is that smart investment? But that's neither here nor there. And that's for anybody. That's neither here nor there. And you're putting rims on it. Again, how is that smart investment? That's a sign of someone that's suffering brain hemorrhaging. Earl the True Spence beat the block out of this boy. He beat the Mexican out of him. In so much so that Eric Morales went and said, you are not a real Mexican. And then Mikey Garcia got offended by that. Didn't realize the toll that the Earl the True Spence fight took, that he lost a charity fight against Eric Morales. I keeps the foot on the what? On the next. I keeps the foot on the what? On the next. And like the Tibetan Mastiff that I am, I apply what? Unlimited pressure, because pressure does what? It bursts his pipes. Mikey Garcia, don't ever run your damn mouth. I put you in a hole for a reason. And when I put you in that hole, you're supposed to stay in that damn hole. I leave you in a hole for a reason. Then you want to resurface again. Now it's time for me to put you right back in that damn hole. Earl the True Spence embarrassed you. He punished you. And he stopped you. It's called life trauma. You forever have this for the rest of your life. And you know why? Because you wanted to survive for 12 rounds. But like the great Andre Ward said, there's no more victories in survival. Let me say it again. There's no moral victories in surviving. So you survived, but guess what you survived? You survived a life of CTE, trauma, piss and amber, and now you can't even halfway bang your damn chick. This is Hino's the Sport. Checking out.